Hi everyone, this is Diane. Some of you may remember that I've talked about my friend LeMinh for quite a few years. She is a junk journal friend. I never met her in person. She lived in California. She's very, very talented, and she followed me, and she said I was one of her earlier junk journal influences, and I was her first Etsy customer when she opened her shop. But first, she sent me this journal as a gift, and I loved it so much. And then sometime later, it was 4 years ago, I bought this journal from her. And she had messaged me. I knew that she was struggling with her health. She didn't tell me what the problem was at first, but it was pretty early on in our friendship that she told me that she was struggling with her health. And then she said that she was doing better. And then more recently, like less than a year ago, she told me, well, back in July, she messaged me and said that her health had worsened, and I knew at that point, by then, she had told me that it was cancer. And she said it doesn't look like she would be able to get back to crafting. And I just told her I was praying for her, and she wanted to know if I wanted some of her supplies. She wanted to disperse her supplies to other creators. And I said, of course, I would love to have some of her supplies. She collected a lot of vintage things also, but she never was able to send out the supplies. And I just found out this morning, she passed away October 30th, but I just found out this morning because I saw something her sister posted on Facebook. And I felt very sad, and I cried, and I thought I need to get out her books and look at them and remember her. And I want to do that with you. Her channel is Lace Covered Skies, and it's still on YouTube. You can go and watch her videos if you want to. I'm assuming her Etsy store, I'm assuming she closed that. I didn't check. I'm assuming she closed it when she knew she wouldn't be able to continue. So I just want to go through these two journals. I know I've shown them on my channel before, but I want to look at them, and I thought I would just look at them with you. I'll have some company while I remember, and I probably won't do a lot of talking. I'll talk some. I'm not going to talk about LeMinh, except I just want to tell you she's very, very sweet woman. I think she was just two days shy of her birthday, which I think it was like 48 would have been her birthday, her age on her birthday. So she wasn't very old. But she liked to go to estate sales, and she has a lot of estate sale hauls on her channel, and her creativity is just beautiful. She has a beautiful style. So this journal was created with cardstock, and she glued fabric over it and layers of lace. It's just beautiful. I put this lace fabric, it was a curtain, down on my table in honor of her Lace Covered Skies. And this is from a vintage book or magazine. They're recovering chairs and beautiful fabrics there. And eyelet fabric on the back, and a sheet tie. She just had such a unique way of making embellishments. She used file folders a lot for backing her pieces. I think that's a pocket too. Oh, it's open at the bottom. I could stitch it closed to make it a pocket. She liked the National Geographic magazines. She got a lot of images from there, the vintage ones. I like her unique little layered fabric tags. This is a beautiful pocket, and I think I want to mimic that in some journals. Just a cardstock piece covered in lace, but not all the way covered, and I just think it's really pretty. And then she just sewed this piece of a sheet to the page as just something, just an embellishment sewn to the page. Everybody has such unique styles and ideas. And I love it. She told me that she had been following my videos as I set up my room down here. So this is unique also. An image from a handyman's book from the 50s or 60s, sewn to pink cardstock. And then she just had this little piece of cardstock, and I could just tuck something little in there, but it's just, I would never think to do that. Another of the fabric layered tags. And there's another one. Oh, this flips open. Using map as a tab. And there's a pocket here. And there. When I have mentioned her on videos in the past, some of you said that you enjoy watching her too, so I know some of you are familiar with her work, and I don't know if you were aware that she passed away. So this is just so fun, a fun element. This opens up. It's not open in the middle, it's open off center, which is fun. And then this hangs off the edge. And this is on with eyelets. And there's a thing to write on here. And this just tucks in there. I mean, that was very creative, this whole thing. And I have made some tags like this with recipes just because she did it. And I thought it looked so cool. Very simple, but you know, that's how I like things. I like to make simple things, but unique and different. And I love the old images that she used. I treasure this book. I was so delighted when I got this in the mail. Again, this flips open, and there's a card tucked into this little tuck spot. I'm going to honor her by using some of these ideas in an upcoming journal, I think. The last message I sent to her, I can't remember when it was, but I wanted to know how she was doing, because I had told her when she sent me that scary message, it sounded like she knew she wasn't going to make it. I said, keep on fighting, and she said she would. And then it was sometime after that I was wondering how she was doing. And I didn't want to ask her, you know, are you going to make it? You know, I didn't want to. So I just said, I'm praying for you, LeMinh. And she said, thank you, Diane. I was kind of hoping that she would give me an update, but she didn't. But that was enough. And that was our last communication. I don't think I would use that as a pocket because this is a fragile magazine page, but it is open. I've looked through this many times, but it's like looking at it brand new every time I look at it. This is a sheer doily. Very pretty. This is a fun one. She cut a slit in it and wrapped the slit with fabric and then covered the back with a fabric to create a pocket. So this goes in there. It's just part of a Popular Mechanics cover. Goes in there. And I could tuck something else in there too if I wanted to. So that's the one she sent me as a gift. And then I remember I saw this on her channel as she was creating it, or maybe she did the flip through, but I messaged her and I said, I really, really love this journal. It's a homemaker's guide, perfect for me. This is, I think, a book jacket or magazine cover that she glued to a hardback book. And I loved it, and I messaged her and asked if it was available and how much she wanted for it, and the price was very reasonable, and she listed it for me, and she said I was her first Etsy customer, and I felt honored to be her first Etsy customer, and she said it was fitting because I was, if not her first junk journal influencer, but one of the first. I think she said I was the first one that she started following. So this is a hardback, and it has this beautiful cover on the front. This looks like her hairdo looks like it's from the 40s. And again, she just layered a bunch of laces, and she pleated some fabric. And she tied it with this beautiful tie. There's a piece of fabric on the spine that looks like a Workbasket magazine page. This actually says Workbasket. So I'm thinking that she actually copied Workbasket pages onto printed them onto fabric. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what she did. Oh, there's a note from her in here. Diane, thank you for being my first Etsy customer. That is so special to me, and I'm glad it happened that way. Thank you for being inspiring always. You make the junk journaling community a wonderful place, LeMinh. Oh, I'm so glad I have that note from her. She made some specimen cards with dried flowers. So this is a unique book because it has this, I don't know what she called it, but look at this. It just opens up. It's made out of file folders. She constructed this. And I remember the first time I looked at it, I was like, I don't even know how to fold it back up again. It's so cool. So opens here, opens here, and this opens up. I knew this lace was going to slide around, but I wanted the lace on my table. And it opens here. There's a tie to tie that closed. Opens there. This is just a piece of a divider card from a Better Homes and Gardens sewing book binder. And it opens here. This again opens. Lots of flips and flaps. I didn't tie things up closed when last time I looked at it. I don't know. I think it goes like that. And this is part of it too. So this opens up this way. And that opens that way. So it's like getting two journals in one. And this is 3 signatures and big. Old book pages, a digital. This is cool. These are slide mounts. She sent me a collection of these larger slide mounts in different forms. Some were bigger, some were smaller. She's just sent me a small collection of slide mounts, which were really fun to play with. But she put acetate in the window, and then, well, before she put the acetate on, she included a tiny little image, probably from National Geographic, sewed around it, and then encased it in the acetate, and then put them on as a little tuck. Ingenious. Love the colors on that. Oh, this is paper clipped on. Look at that cute paper clip she made with a scale. British auto scale. I think auto as in automatic, not as an automobile. I think. What do I know? This is a really fun envelope that she made windows in it and put some printed acetate. I think she may have printed on the acetate, I'm not sure. I know she printed on fabric, which I never have. And this has a little tab at the end. Let me know in the comments if you followed LeMinh on YouTube or ever watched one of her videos or ever purchased anything from her shop. I'm just curious. Here's another one of those envelopes with a Cremo Oats paperclip. This is just a page that's covered in sewing tissue. I remember she had a goal one time to use up all of her pattern tissue, so she did videos on using them up in large quantities. This would use up a lot because it's more than one layer. I think there's a book page inside, but it's at least a couple layers of sewing tissue. That's covered in fabric. It has a metal eyelet. Some more of those slides, and this one has a card tucked in it with the caption, the description of the car. So there's a pattern tissue page, like the first one that we saw, fabric sewn on it. This is sewn down as a tuck, and then there's this little pocket. I just love the way she did this. And then this is cardstock that she embossed. And I could definitely tuck something into that little pocket too. So creative. There's some pockets here. And there's another very thick pattern tissue page. There's a book page in there. I can see images of children upside down. And she made pockets on this side and tucked in a bunch of things, little fabric tags, a little dress cut out, a couple pieces of embossed cardstock that I can use in the journal if I ever work in it. I don't know if I want to work in it. I might just want to leave it the way she made it. Thank you for looking at LeMin's journals with me. It helped me to have some company as I looked through them. I love them both so much, and even more now. I mean, I loved them. They were some of my favorite journals. But knowing that I have a little bit of her creativity in my studio is wonderful to me. Thank you for watching with me today. I will link her channel below. If you're not familiar with her, you can go back and watch some of her videos. Thank you all. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.